Yeah.
Guess what?
What?
Oh, man. It is NFL Week 1. Coming up, we get football on Thursday. I'm hyped.
Whoop, whoop.
I am hyped.
Yes. You got that hype horn button?
Oh, my gosh. I got a hype horn here.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go. This is the Fantasy Chairmen Podcast. I am Ben.
I'm Alex.
And we are joined by the Fantasy Sasquatch himself because we've got a mega episode. It's the Sasquatch Square-Off and the Fantasy Chairmen Podcast combined today. What's up, Matt?
Hello, guys. How are you?
Ever
so cordial.
Ever the cordial one. The Fantasy Sasquatch, ever the cordial one until we come to blows.
Broadcasted live from his cave.
Went back to visit the cave today. How are things at the cave?
Good. Humid. Cold.
All right.
It's always good.
Ready?
What's that?
Football, though.
You ready for football?
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear. You might be a little too far in your cave there where you broke up for a couple of seconds, but that's okay.
Breaking up.
Oh, I'm ready for football, guys.
Oh, there it is. That's what I like to hear. All right. Well, we've got a mega episode today because, like I said, we're combining the Square-Off and the Fantasy Chairmen Podcast.
We are.
This is gonna be. We got a whole lot of fun things on tap for everybody today. We've got some news and notes. We're gonna tell you what the Sasquatch Square-Off is gonna be looking like in season. Now that we're not talking draft anymore, because all the drafts pretty much finished up or are finishing up this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend, or there are even some people I hear about that they do it like right up to kickoff of Thursday Night Football there. So
it's pretty much all done.
That's living on the edge right there.
It's pretty close. And then we've got some bold predictions. This should be pretty fun. We've all sat down, come up with three things that we think are going to happen this NFL season, and they're pretty bold. I haven't heard yours or Matt's yet, so I'm going to be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've heard mine, but Matt has not heard mine. So
he has not.
Well, this should be exciting, to say the least. After that, we're going to take you through a little preview and some predictions for all the games that will be taking place in Week 1 of the NFL. And after that, a little hot prop and lock it. This will be a new segment for the show that we'll be introducing today. Should be pretty fun.
Nice.
And before we get into everything, just wanted to remind everybody of the raffle that we've got going on right now to benefit the Roundup City Racers. That's a charitable youth organization that works with track and field and cross-country kids from ages 5 to 18 and provides for travel funds, apparel, uniform purchases, shoe purchases for those young athletes that can't afford things like that, provides scholarships for high school athletes that are graduating and have done track and field and cross-country. And that is something that we are going to be doing throughout our time on the podcast here, partnering with youth sports teams and organizations and trying to help them fundraise and things like that. So you can win a signed Allen Robinson jersey or a signed Todd Gurley jersey. So if you just go to www.fantasychairmen.com and click on the Pay It Forward tab, you can purchase raffle tickets there. If you find us on Twitter @ChairmanFantasy or on Instagram now @FantasyChairmenPod, you can also find an Instagram and Twitter promotion to find a way to earn some free raffle tickets into that raffle. So get on there and check us out. Lots of free tickets to be earned.
Lots of free tickets. You were explaining that to me, and I was sitting there kind of asking myself, so people still got to buy tickets, right? I mean, we're not just handing them out willy-nilly, right?
With your purchase of one ticket,
only one.
One ticket for $5, you can get on there and go through the steps for our Twitter promotion, our Instagram promotion, and earn extra tickets to go along with that one that you purchased.
It's wild. I like it.
It's going to be fun. Matt, you're not eligible. Sorry, man.
You're not going to let me in?
Nope. You're not eligible. But you can help support the racers by, donating.
Okay. I'll just do.
All right. Alex, you ready for some NFL news?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
And now it's time for your NFL news.
All right, a little bit of news since our last episode last week. Leonard Fournette was released by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Pretty big surprise.
That was a surprise.
Yeah, not a lot of people expecting that one. I had heard a couple of fantasy analysts maybe thinking that could be a possibility. But, yeah, so that happened. And then right after that, what was it, a day or two later, he was signed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, that was crazy. Everybody talking about, there's nowhere he can go where he could gain any value. And I don't think anybody was really thinking that he'd end up in Tampa Bay.
Seriously. So now, yeah, I mean, all those Ronald Jones truthers out there, it's he's got somebody that's more than capable right on his heels. So and Bruce Arians came out and said it's still Ronald Jones's job, but yeah, I don't know if we can 100% trust that. So we'll just have to see how it gets doled out in the first couple weeks.
I know the Sasquatch is not believing any of that.
No?
Nope.
Not one bit. Okay.
Nope. Not a word.
Yeah, there was a lot of hype for Ronald Jones this offseason, and that is looking a little scary right now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
next piece of news, Cam Newton was named the official starter for the New England Patriots football team to be their quarterback. So,
surprise.
Cam
Newton.
Yeah, beat out Jarrett Stidham.
Man, Jarrett Stidham isn't the starter?
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
I know.
And Brian Hoyer, too.
Yeah, beat him out, too.
Oh, wow.
Next piece here, Adrian Peterson was released by the Washington football team and was signed to the Detroit Lions this morning. So,
let's just murky that backfield a little bit more, why don't we?
Real muddled backfield now between Adrian Peterson, DeAndre Swift, and Kerryon Johnson. So, we'll see what happens. I know DeAndre's been dealing with some kind of nagging injuries, so I don't know if they're just kind of bringing him up slowly so he doesn't re-injure himself, and then Kerryon is dealing with back-to-back seasons of bad injuries.
Yeah, I don't think is he still wearing the knee brace?
I think I saw somewhere that said that he wants to play with that knee brace. So
okay. So
yeah, he said that him and the knee brace are one. That's a direct quote.
Okay.
Sounds like he's going to play with the knee brace. It's it's molded into him.
It's just part of him now.
Yeah. Molded by it.
Bringing Bane back.
So, I know a big piece of Adrian Peterson going to the Lions, from what I read this morning, was his familiarity with Darrell Bevell and his system when he first came into the league with the Vikings. So that's a big boost for the Lions to be able to bring somebody in that's already ready to go. Doesn't need a whole lot of getting up to speed time. So
I'm down on DeAndre Swift now, and I can't help it, but just feel like this year is not going to be.
We'll see. It might take
a
little bit
of a year for him.
Might take a little bit longer for him to take over now. So, but I think there's keep your eyes to the horizon.
Murky, Alex.
Next bit of news. Jadeveon Clowney has officially signed to the Titans, says he will be packing his bags and be there Monday morning for practice. So it sounded like it was coming down to the Saints and the Titans trying to get Jadeveon's services, and the Titans won out. So going to the Titans.
About time he went somewhere, though.
Yeah, and he got a $15 million contract, so he was pretty adamant that he wanted something close to 18, so he finally kind of came down from it.
Well, he needed to.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know if anybody was paying him 18 anywhere.
For real. Josh Gordon re-signs with the Seahawks, so he was reinstated by the NFL.
Ooh, Josh Gordon. Squatch likes that pick. Loves him some Josh Gordon there at Seattle.
Just because he's re-signed, does that mean he's reinstated?
No, I don't think he is actually
are they still officially
reinstated?
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't think that he can play yet. But they just re-signed him just in case he does get reinstated.
Oh, okay, all right. For some reason, I thought
Roger Goodell.
Yeah, for some reason I thought he was reinstated, but I guess we still.
Seahawks. It's just natural.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a whole lot of tread on his legs.
Yeah, I mean, he could still play a little bit. My thinking is that the Seahawks will get the first portion of the year with Josh Gordon before he falls back out of football, and then just in time for Antonio Brown to be signed, and then they'll catch him on the back end.
Oh, gross.
I don't even want that.
Oh, gross. The thinking behind that.
I'll do the Gordon thing.
It's all part of the plan.
Now the Joker's here.
Mike Williams is reported to possibly be missing all of September with that shoulder sprain that he got in practice a couple weeks ago. So
yeah, I've heard various reports on that.
Bad.
Yeah, it does sound bad. The last update that I saw, though, that came through was that he potentially could miss all of September with it. So, oh man, you hate to see it.
Yeah, that's no doubt. And then last bit of news I have, saw an update just before we started doing the podcast here. Deebo Samuels has a potential or a chance to play week 1. And it kind of looked like after he had his injury and his surgery that he was going to be like questionable, before week 5 or 6. But it sounds like he's been running, he's been cutting.
Yep.
Doing stuff on the sidelines, so sounds like he's going to have a shot at playing week 1.
Yep, he's been activated off the physically unable to perform list, so there's not that threat of him being forced to miss 6 games now.
Wait, was that a hairline fracture in his foot?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Lynn Frank?
Yeah.
You don't want to come back from that too early.
Is that right?
No, I think
right?
it's potentially he had the Liz Frank injury. But I know the speculation is that he is kind of being forced back a little bit just because of all the injuries that they've suffered there too. Mm-hmm. He says he's feeling all right. The last quotes that I saw from Deebo Samuel sounded like he was doing okay. He wants to be out there and is ready to be back if he can be. So we'll see.
Just got to stay in a boot then, I guess, whenever he's not playing.
I was going to say, the scary thing is that if you look back historically on these injuries, people trying to come back, there's a big number of people that come back and push it too hard, too fast, and then they get re-injured, and then they're out for the rest of the year. So
Greg Olsen.
Yeah. I think Julio did his first or second year, so it's happened before, so they got to be careful with that.
That's for sure. So hopefully Deebo's okay and he's able to just be out there. Mm-hmm. If that's the case, then people that were snagging Deebo down in the 9th-ish round of their drafts got a steal.
No kidding.
Got a treasure.
Absolute treasure. For sure.
Well, that's all for my news and notes.
That's all for the news and notes, Alex?
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you for the news and thank you for the notes.
Oh, you're welcome.
Much appreciated. All right. Well, you guys, it's NFL Week 1. I'm excited. NFL Week 1, you know what that means?
What?
That means Thrive Fantasy is giving out $50,000 guaranteed in prizes.
Whoa, tell me more about that.
On the Thrive Fantasy app. That's right. You can get in there and you can choose player props to build your fantasy team in the Thrive Fantasy app. And it's a daily fantasy sports app specifically built on player props. So we're choosing over-unders. If you're thinking Julio Jones is going to get over or under 100.5 yards, you can choose the over-under on that. And then that goes into your fantasy lineup. And each choice that you make has a specific point total associated with what you chose. If you get it right, those points count towards your total. And you're playing against other people. So if you can come out on top, there are some contests in there where you can win upwards of $1,500, $2,000, $10,000, Alex.
Ooh, I like that.
Again, $50,000 guaranteed in prizes for NFL Week 1 on Thrive Fantasy. And it gets even better because when you sign up for Thrive Fantasy, you can use the promo code Fantasy Chairmen And when you deposit $20 or more, you will receive an instant $20 bonus upon signing up.
Free money?
Free money, Alex. Squatch, free money. And that's if you use the promo code Fantasy Chairmen. That is plural chairman, CHAIRMEN. When you sign up and deposit $20, get that instant bonus of $20. Download the Thrive Fantasy app on the App Store or Google Play Store, or visit their website, www.thrivefantasy.com. Sign up and hashtag prop up to play with us today.
I like it.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah, Thrive Fantasy. And we've got a nice fun little segment towards the end of the show here that we're going to introduce, a little hot prop and lock it. Ooh. It's going to be brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. This is going to be pretty good. We'll talk about that a little bit more as we get down to it. But next, we're going to bring up the Sasquatch Square-Off. You guys ready for that?
Ooh. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, Matt, the Fantasy Sasquatch. Our show's going to be looking a little bit different now that the season's going to be started. So we're not talking average draft position anymore, because draft season's done.
Just about out the window.
It feels like it's been going on for years. especially with everything that's been going on. Just crazy. But anyway, we're not going to be talking about ADPs anymore. So what we're going to be doing is debating different flex matchups, and when you're trying to make a decision for who to start in your flex each week, we're going to be putting calls out on social media out there to have you, the people, tell us what you want to hear, who you're trying to decide between in your flex spot.
Because we are men of the people.
We are men of the people.
We are chairmen of the people.
And a Sasquatch.
Oh, yes.
Not exactly a person.
He's a beast of the people.
I'm a beast. That's just it.
But that's just it. That's it. Exactly. So we've got a couple of good flex matchups here today, and we're going to go through a couple, kind of just a mini round of how we're going to be going through this. So we'll have round one. We'll have 3 minutes where we'll discuss the first flex matchup. And then after that, we'll do a second round. And again, 3 minutes. But both of us, it's going to be more like our open discussion period that we typically have on the Square-Off show, where both of us get a chance to talk kind of simultaneously and debate who we think should be put into that flex spot for your week one matchup. And we didn't pull any from Twitter or anything like that this time, but Alex had a flex question. So
I did, for my team that we all draft. Well, we didn't all draft, but we did all draft in this league. But for my team that I drafted last night, so
yeah, exactly.
Question, fresh hot question for you guys.
Fantasy Chairmen League of Origin draft last night. And now Alex is trying to decide who he should start.
Yeah.
And as much as I would like to give him bad advice, we'll try not to.
Unbiased opinions here.
Fantasy Sasquatch is making faces. Maybe if we...
I need an unbiased opinion too.
If we finally start recording and putting some videos up on YouTube, you can see all the many faces of the Squatch.
Yeah, man.
Well, Alex, what do you got for us for?
All right. So in my final flex spot, I've got a question between two guys, and I'd like to hear your guys' debate and then maybe help me make a decision here.
Is it a quandary?
It is a quandary. It's a quorum.
And we'll come to a quorum.
We will come to a quorum.
What's the quandary?
Oh, it is between James White and John Brown, old Smokey Brown. So,
James White and John Brown.
And just as you all know, but we'll let the listeners know too, it's a 12-team half-point PPR league.
Yes.
So,
12-team half PPR. James White or John Brown. All right. So Matt and I will be discussing this, and I'm going to be talking about James White. Matt's going to be talking about John Brown. And we're going to kick this thing off. We get 3 minutes, Matt.
Round 1. Fight.
We're on the clock. All right.
Okay.
You go ahead.
I'll start. Good. All right. So last year, check this out. John Brown, with all the craziness of the Buffalo Bills this year, understand that Stephon Diggs is on the team now. But last year, he had the most targets of his career, the most receptions of his career, the most yards of his career. And I think that was and the most yards per game, obviously. So he is obviously a big part of the offense, even with Stephon on the team. And honestly, if you're going to ask me from a pro tip standpoint, I think that what this does is just open him up even more, because Stephon Diggs, in a vacuum, talent-wise, is one of the top 10 wide receivers in the NFL. Is that a hot take, or does everyone agree with that?
No, he's pretty talented.
Yeah, I like him. I just
good route runner.
I hate the positions he's always been put in, but no, I think he's a stud.
Yeah, he can do everything. I honestly, the biggest thing here is that John Brown isn't just like a burner. I mean, he's been used like that in the past, but on the Buffalo Bills, they used him for everything last year, and he produced. So I don't see how. For me, when you say James White and John Brown, I see James White, kind of a fluctuating guy, PPR monster, but in half PPR, you're kind of, you're going to get Fiji's one week, and you're going to get Honey Crisps the next week.
Listen,
John Brown.
Listen though,
John Brown's the man, dude.
All right, but you need to be.
Did
starting...
he just say Fiji's one week, Honey Crisp the next?
He did. You're going to need to be starting James White this week, because listen, the Patriots, it's looking all new there. There are like two consistent guys that have been there: Julian Edelman, James White. And I'm going to use Matt's argument against him, that because he's talked about James White before. James White is pretty much the captain there on that team. Ooh. We've seen that Cam Newton does know how to use a pass catching back. He had Christian McCaffrey. The chemistry, they haven't had a whole lot of time to build it up there between the receivers and Cam Newton now. He's going to go in there against the Miami Dolphins. Okay,
Ooh.
Miami.
Yeah.
Cushy matchup right there. And he's going to be dumping that ball down to James White, the steady Eddie, the veteran, the guy that knows the system. Okay, he's going to be the cushion for Cam Newton in this week 1. James White is going to tear it up this week, just because he's pretty much going to be the only guy that's going to be able to produce. Everything about the New England Patriots makes me nervous right now, except for James White and possibly Julian Edelman.
Cam Newton makes
Ben,
you...
guess who
Cam
else
Newton,
knows?
Yeah.
Guess who else is pretty good at playing the Patriots game and knowing how the Patriots play?
Who's that?
Brian Flores. Brian Flores.
It's too late for you. It's too late for you. All right.
Guess who won last year in the last game of the season? Brian Flores. He's gonna. I mean, it's like the Padawan taking over the
Squatch. It's enough out of you. All right. So in the Sasquatch Square-Off from here on out, we're going to keep it a little bit more like we had it in the off season, where each person gets 3 minutes to talk. We shortened it down for this episode since we're just combining everything, but we are going to jump into round 2 here. Ooh. And Matt had a flex question coming from the League of Origin. And what was your question, Squatch?
You guys didn't want to hear who I'm going to go with?
Well, tell us after this.
Okay.
My question is, who should I start? Kareem Hunt against the Baltimore Ravens? Sorry.
Good
or
Lord.
Deontay
Is he
Johnson
coughing up a mountain bird right there that he just got done eating before?
That might have been.
Had a handball.
All right, so Kareem Hunt or Deontay Johnson?
Yeah, Hunt against the Ravens or Johnson against the Giants.
All right, then. Well, Alex is going to be talking Kareem Hunt.
I'm taking Kareem.
And I'm going to talk Deontay Johnson. So this will be interesting. We got Alex on the square-off here.
Round 2. Fight.
On the clock. Kareem Hunt, Deontay Johnson.
You leading or am I leading?
You're leading.
Oh, you get to go second every time, huh? Okay, well, I guess I'm going to lead it off here. And I'm going
this one I do.
You did on the other one.
Yeah, because I'm the only one talking twice.
Oh, okay, well, whatever. Well, I'm going to go with Kareem Hunt here, Matt, and I don't think I need to really say a whole lot because Kareem Hunt, I mean, the guy's a stud. Look what he did when he came back, when he came back from his suspension last year. I mean, he was on pace to, set record, crazy numbers, like running back one numbers with Nick Chubb still there, which was crazy. So, and the Browns matchup this week is the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I do think I think the Ravens are going to have their way with the Cleveland Browns defense, and that could lead to the Browns trying to play a whole lot of catch up. And now what's Kareem Hunt's big time value between Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt? His receiving prowess. So I think he's going to be out there a whole lot. And this offseason, there's been lots of talk about Kareem Hunt being in with the receiving group, running as a slot receiver as well. So, man, I think Kareem Hunt's he'll give you a safe floor, but with potential for a nice ceiling.
Listen, Matt.
I'm scared of Calais Campbell tackling him though, just once.
Listen, Matt. The Browns beat the Ravens once last year, and they did it on the back of Nick Chubb. There's a blueprint there. You need to start Deontay Johnson because Deontay Johnson is going to be an animal this year. I love it. And he's playing the Giants. I mean, do the Giants really have a scary secondary? Can anybody tell me how scary the secondary for the Giants are? Oh, and Ben Roethlisberger is back, and it sounds like he's going full go right now. He's making
fresh off his elbow surgery.
He's making all the throws in camp, doing just fine.
Hit that hype horn. All the throws in camp. Yeah.
All of
camp
those.
Hype.
All of them.
All of them. Oh my gosh, I ain't got to worry now.
You got your QB1 back. He doesn't have the likes of Duck Hodgins throwing to him or Mason Rudolph with, half a head left. And
oh, I forgot. The other half got decimated.
Juju Smith-Schuster is back. He's going to be drawing a whole bunch of the looks from the secondary there. That's just going to leave Deontay Johnson, who was bursting out towards the end of the season last year, to just be one-on-one on the outside. And you know who he profiles heavily to?
Who's that?
Antonio Brown.
Oh, wow.
Who Roethlisberger absolutely used to love. Not so much anymore. But that's what we're looking at with Deontay Johnson here. He's got a much better matchup. I think you need to start old Deontay and let Roethlisberger sling the rock to him. There we go. All right, Alex, who are you going to start?
I think I'm going to be rolling with James White. I believe, against the Dolphins.
Booyah!
I mean, honestly, when you think about it, who's a healthy running back on the Patriots right now? I mean, there's questions with Sony Michel. There's questions with Damian.
Burkhead.
Oh, Rex Burkhead. Questions with Damian.
14 carries, 100
Damian
yards,
Harris.
1 touchdown.
Oh, my.
Oh, man.
That's bold,
I think,
sir.
Who knows? I may flip-flop before the start of week 1 as well, but I'm leaning James White right now. So, I mean,
that's a good choice.
I'll have to keep my ear to the ground and listen for some Patriot news to see how people are trending. But if it looks a little murky, then I might have to pivot to John Brown.
He's a solid force there in an otherwise questionable offseason and questionable just cohesiveness in the team right now.
Got to keep your head on a swivel and adapt and overcome.
That's right. Matt. Who are you going to be starting?
I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm going Kareem Hunt.
Oh, yeah.
Mistake.
I do think that the Ravens are just going to freaking score and score and score. And I think it's either going to be a barn burner or it's just going to be, it's either going to be a big blowout or a barn burner.
Mistake, sir.
Well, who on the Browns? I don't even know who the Browns have on their defense anymore. They have Greedy, don't they? But other than that, I mean,
Myles Garrett.
Oh, they have Myles Garrett. That's right. I just have written him off since his suspension, but he's back, I guess.
Yeah, and
that's
got a
good.
mega extension as well.
He's going to be there for a bit.
That's true.
All right.
Is Greedy Johnson healthy?
Greedy Williams?
Greedy Williams.
Or Greedy Williams, yeah. Sorry.
I think so. I haven't heard anything about him.
Pretty sure he is.
I know they just lost their safety though, didn't they? Their rookie safety they just drafted.
They traded for one. They traded for one from the Jaguars, but I think he was more of a depth guy than anything. But yeah, it's, I don't know. There's been talk that the Browns kind of upgraded their defense, but yeah, when they lost their rookie safety, I don't know why we're all blanking on his name, but they definitely took a hit there.
Was it Delpit?
So yes, it was Delpit.
Grant
Thank
Delpit.
you. Yeah, Grant Delpit. So definitely took a little bit of a hit there. It may still be a little bit shaky, but they were a middle of the road defense last year.
Yeah.
Probably going to be about what they are again this year. All right. So going with the running backs, these two starting in their flex, which honestly, that's kind of where I trend as far as making my flex positions typically, or when I'm choosing my starting flex positions, especially week one, because it's like, well, you know that the running backs, depending on who they are, I guess,
I tell you
are
what,
going to get touches, probably up near 10 or so touches, which with some of these receivers that you may be questioning, there may be a chance that they get less than 3 receptions or whatever. So
the thing is, though,
be a
with
little
mine,
scary.
The Patriots running back, I can't guarantee anyone getting more than 10 touches. That's the scary thing.
If there's one running back that I think you can guarantee gets 10 touches or more, it's probably going to be James White.
Probably James White. That's right.
Just if there's one that you would have to choose. But
Probably 3 carries and 7 catches.
Hey, that's all right. Half-point PPR.
Yep.
7 catches. That's good stuff.
I like
The
that.
reception is more it's more valuable than a carry. So
It is in
Probably
this. By a half a point.
yeah, exactly. If each went for 0 yards, you would get a half a point for the reception.
Yes.
We're here to tell you all the hard-hitting things that
That's-
you don't know about fantasy football.
And that's math.
Oh, man. Well, good times. So that's a little bit what the Sasquatch Square-Off is going to be looking like. Like I said, we'll give a little bit more time to elaborate on our decisions and our arguments for each player, but we condensed it a bit for today's show.
Where can they, if somebody wants to have their matchup highlighted in the episode, where can they tweet their matchup to have a question?
There's a bunch of places you can go. You can email us at fantasychairman@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter, and you can do any of these ones. You can find us at Chairman Fantasy, at Find FF Leagues, and at Fantasy Sasquatch. And if you just send us a tweet saying, "Hey, I've got a tough decision to make here on I need to start player A or player B in my flex, not sure who to go with," and then just tell us your league size and your scoring format, and we may highlight your question on the show, and Sasquatch and I will debate back and forth on who we think you should start.
They'll square off.
We will square off indeed.
Low body.
Well, exactly. You can also comment on our pictures and stuff on Instagram and tell us your matchups there as well, and that's at Fantasy Chairmen Pod. So that's pretty new. So Instagram, go follow us. We need it.
Yes.
We're brand new on there. Anyway, several places you can go. Let us know. We'll highlight those matchups on there, and Matt and I will fight each other about it. All right. Up next, the moment that I think we've all been waiting for. I don't know about everybody listening.
Ooh.
But
I bet. Yeah, I think people have been waiting for this.
we've got some bold predictions.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
You slipped that one in on me there.
I had to surprise you guys with that one.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So we've got bold predictions for the 2020 NFL season. And
Yeah,
we're gonna
bold.
go one at a time, work our way through here. Each of us picked out 3 bold predictions. And I think I want to start with the Sasquatch.
Oh, okay.
Let's start with the
You wanna start with
Sasquatch.
me?
Yep. Let's hear your first bold prediction, Matt.
That's really nice, you guys.
You're welcome.
Is this for the entire season?
This is that's what we talked about.
Yep. Bold prediction.
But this isn't for week 1, right?
No,
No,
sir.
this is just bold predictions for the 2020 season.
for the 2020 NFL season.
So my first one is I actually got 5 of them, but I'll pick
We're
3.
only doing 3.
You outdid yourself, sir.
I know. I'll pick 3 of them. I'll just pick them at random. The first one that I got to say is I think that Kyler is going to be outside of the top 12 QBs in
Ooh.
fantasy football.
Wow.
All right.
Okay. What, you got a little reasoning on that?
Yep. My reasoning is when Kenyon Drake entered the Arizona Cardinals scheme and you started to see the efficiency in the running game finally once Mr. 3.2 yards a carry left.
Who was that?
You started to take some of the pressure off of the young quarterback and get a little more dynamic in the running game, which in turn complements Cliff Kingsbury. I almost said Klingon. Kingsbury's offensive air raid. And that's exactly, he wants those linebackers to take a step forward so that he can have those 10-yard digs or whatever sort of 10-yard over the middle routes open. That's the key part of that air route or air raid. Sorry. So that's my hot take out of the 12
For the offensive air raid.
This is pretty bold. I think everybody,
I haven't heard anybody that's been saying that he's going to have a down year. It's all been up and up.
Kyler Murray's being drafted as, depending on your format, things like that, being drafted as like anywhere
QB4.
between the 3rd to 5th or 6th quarterback off the board.
Mm-hmm.
In Dynasty, he's usually the quarterback 3, quarterback 4, like right there behind Russell Wilson. I think he's jumped Deshaun Watson in there. But no, definitely. I could see it happening. What if he has a Baker Mayfield sort of second season? It's a very similar look. Their offense looks stacked. They added that stud wide receiver in DeAndre Hopkins, just like the Browns added Odell.
It seems eerily similar.
The defense is not going to be very good, and the O-line is. They didn't do much with it there. So
man. Squatch.
If we see a Baker Mayfield regression in Kyler Murray this year, then Fantasy Sasquatch could be right. Kyler Murray may be outside the top 12. We'll see.
Interesting.
All right.
Very hot.
Over to Alex.
All right.
Bold prediction number 1 for Alex.
My first bold prediction for the 2020 NFL season will be that the best rookie wide receiver for the 2020 season will be Bryan Edwards. Ooh. Bryan Edwards, people. This guy's been receiving a ton of hype in Raiders camp. Nothing but compliments from John Gruden and Derek Carr. Derek Carr is saying that there's a sense of, safeness and comfort with throwing to him. Like he already knows where he's going to be out there on the field. And he's going to be playing that dominant wide receiver 1 spot on the outside there with Henry Ruggs running from the slot and moving all around and looking for that big shot down the field. I think Bryan Adams,
Bryan Adams.
Bryan Adams. Bryan. Sorry, summer of 69. Yeah, on the brain. Bryan Edwards, people, gonna be the best rookie wide receiver. I think he's got the body, he's got the measurements, he's got everything. He's got the hands. He's got the contested catch ability.
Tyrell Williams just got put on the IR, so he's going to have the opportunity.
I like it. That's my first bold prediction. Bryan Edwards, number 1 rookie wide receiver this year.
Not that hot.
Not
I
that.
can put my hand.
You don't think so?
Alex, no, because we all know that Bryan Edwards was a first-round rated wide receiver. The only reason he didn't go is because of his foot. We know how good he is. And
you
now
think
it's been put on a platter for him.
Well, he still has to beat out the likes of,
Jerry Jeudy,
Jerry Jeudy,
Lamb,
Jalen
Justin
Reagor,
Jefferson.
all those guys, man. Some big time wide
Rager's
receivers.
going to be a little easier now.
Even
with the
Ruggs
injury.
on his own team.
Yeah, Ruggs. Yeah,
Ruggs is a project. Whether he
Ruggs,
Mayock wants to say it or not,
they
he's
want
a
Ruggs to be Tyreek Hill.
I don't know.
Man.
But was that not a hot take?
I thought it was pretty bold. I think it's pretty bold. I think without Tyrell Williams there, it's not as bold as it could have been.
Okay. All right.
I'll give you that. But I will say that it's pretty bold because I think if anybody were to pick right now, if you were just given the choice of CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, Bryan Edwards, Henry Ruggs, Justin Jefferson, you're probably not going to pick Bryan Edwards to finish as the number one rookie wide receiver.
No, you're not.
In 2020. So I'll give it to you.
Okay.
I'll give it to you.
All right.
I like it. It's all right.
It's all right. I'm just converting the Squatch into Bryan Edwards talk. He likes him now.
It's okay.
He's seen him.
I knew we'd have a little back and forth with having both of you on the show this whole time.
Well, I was definitely targeting him past the 10th round.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah, Kyle snaked him.
He did.
In our League of Origin draft. I think all of us were looking at Bryan Edwards.
Yeah, we were.
As we all sniped each other throughout the entire draft.
Yeah, just so you know, people, in this 12-team League of Origin league, I was sandwiched in between Matt, the Squatch here, and Ben. So, needless to say, I was getting turned into Swiss cheese, getting sniped all day long.
Just getting sniped everywhere.
Yep. Good for you.
Man.
All right, Ben, let's hear your first one.
Okay. My first bold prediction, and I did this for you, Alex. This one's for you.
Okay.
All right.
Odell Beckham.
No, sir. But it is.
His other Browns.
Nick Chubb will finish as a top 7 running back while Kareem Hunt finishes as a top 15 running back. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And just go back and listen to anything I've ever said about Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and
pretty much listen to every
you'll
episode.
Understand exactly why.
You'll listen. Just listen.
I think both these guys are just going to be the focal point of the Browns offense. As much as I love Odell Beckham Jr., I think this whole Browns offense is going to run through Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt both. We haven't seen 2 running backs finish as RB1s since Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram, I don't think. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that we'll see Kareem Hunt be an RB1, but I think he's going to be right there on the edge.
I like it.
Right there on the edge. And these guys are going to get used heavily, used often. And with Kevin Stefanski there and an improved O-line, I definitely see a world where these guys finish both in the top 15. Nick Chubb, top 7. Writing it down.
Writing it down. Matt, are you surprised by that at all?
Well, I was just thinking in my head, kind of like trying to run through that. I mean, obviously not. No, the Nick Chubb. I mean, Ben has a man crush on Nick Chubb. Yep. It's official.
Yeah.
But no, I think that the biggest thing is that Nick Chubb, obviously, in my opinion, this might be a hot take too. I think that Nick Chubb is the most efficient and all-around rusher. Let me say it again, rusher in the NFL.
Thank you.
Not receiver.
No, not all-around running back, just rusher.
Thank you.
But and he's right behind Derrick Henry, but Derrick Henry doesn't have everything that Nick Chubb has. He's just a defensive lineman running the ball, and nobody wants to tackle him. So
defensive lineman with track speed that just bowls people over.
The one thing about Kareem Hunt is that, yeah, you're right. Like, he's around that RB2 range safely, but if Chubb ever goes down, I mean, he's automatically like top 5 almost?
Oh yeah,
week to week?
I mean,
this bold prediction.
Mark it down,
says
dude.
that for sure.
Top 5.
I mean, if they both can finish up in that top 15, and then one of them's down, if one of them goes down, then the other one is better be a top 5 sort of guy.
Yeah,
I honestly think if Kareem were to go down, I don't know if Chubb would get all that receiving work that Hunt would get.
I think
I think they would spread it out amongst the receivers more. But if Chubb were to go down, I think his ceiling would be much higher than.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Kareem Hunt stands to gain a lot more if the other goes down.
Yeah,
for sure. Absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
Bold prediction number 2 from the Fantasy Sasquatch. What do you got?
Okay. You guys want number 1, 2, or 3?
What?
Pick
one.
number 3, my lord.
Number 3.
Number 3? Okay. Number 3. This one is for Kyle as well because of last night. DJ Chark will not be a top 20 wide receiver.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that
Wow.
because you
I
guys
don't get
think
behind
the Jags
that.
are going to have every play, right?
Boo! What? I'm sorry. What'd you say?
DJ Chark will not be a top 20 wide receiver. Here's my backing on that. Number 1. I mean, I've talked about it in past Sasquatch episodes, but I know you can go through all the reception perception stuff you want, but I've watched the guy play, and just in my own opinion, his route tree is very limited. It's like high school-esque. He's fast. He's 6'2", and look up the stats and the routes that he runs where he catches the ball. I want to say over half is the 9 route. And he's one of the best in the NFL at just running straight down the field, getting the ball at the highest point, and coming down with it. But after a certain point, and especially with the fact that now they have Raquel Armstead, which they don't even have him now, they have, because he has COVID, they have Divine Ozigbo. Why? I mean, put 6 in the box and then bracket DJ. Let DD do whatever the heck he wants. I mean, it's just they're not gonna score any. I feel so bad for Gardner Minshew, honestly.
Yep, that's enough. All right.
We get to use the Wicca Wicca because we combine the episodes.
I don't know, man.
Alex has something to say to you.
Yeah.
I might be the only guy in the world that thinks this too.
I don't know, man.
You're definitely the lowest that I've seen on DJ Chark.
Yeah, I think Jaguars are going to be playing from behind all season long.
That's all they're going to be doing is throwing the ball.
Yeah. I mean, just from sheer volume alone, he doesn't have to, capitalize on, for high value targets. It's just going to be volume alone that I think he's just going to have huge fantasy days.
I am going to say from a bold prediction standpoint, I will say this, Squatch, that I like it because it is a bold prediction. I just of the bold predictions thus far, this is the one I see least likely.
Squatch glass half full predictions so far. Both of them.
I know.
Last year, the box was filled on 25% of a Jaguar play because of someone that's not there anymore, Leonard Fournette. So yes. Is the box going to be filled with 8 or more even half of the time that it was before? No. No one cares about Raquel. No one cares about Divine Ozigbo. There's no reason to put more than 7 people, even 6 people in the box.
They're real
you
worried
could
about
run a
Chris
dime
Thompson,
or quarter
though.
package every play and destroy the Jaguars.
Well, we'll see what happens, but
right.
Bold take, I will say that.
DJ Chark outside the top 20. All right.
Bold.
Sasquatch.
Big bold.
Bringing the fire.
Bringing the Debbie Down fire.
Just rubbing the sticks together in his cave right now. Real quick.
The other 2 were really positive.
Oh, well.
Well, you get one more.
Yeah, better make it a happy one.
One more.
All right, Alex. Bold prediction number 2.
My second bold prediction for the 2020 NFL season is Will Fuller will play all games this year and not get injured.
Not gonna happen.
Whoa, not gonna happen. I feel like this is just a gut feeling bold prediction from you, Alex.
A little bit, but I will say this.
Or it's just a hope and a prayer.
A little bit of both, but I will say this. Will Fuller took this offseason a lot differently than he has in the past. He knows that he's been labeled as an injury-prone wide receiver, and he changed his entire offseason regime this offseason in order to stay healthy this year. He's focused on staying healthy so he can be out there and making a difference on the field. So I'm going to side with the guy, and I hope my prediction, he will make it all games this year. I'm not saying that he won't get hurt, but I say that he will play in all games.
We did hear Bill O.B. talking about how they look forward to having him all 16 games as well. So the coach believes.
If B.O.B. says that, then you don't need to think that. That guy's insane.
It's bold.
Okay, man. All right. That is pretty bold. I don't know that I'm going to say you're bringing the fire quite yet, but that's good. I like it.
Oh, that's got to be generating some sparks at least.
I don't know what that's generating.
That's one of those things where if you say it enough, maybe it'll happen.
That's
Just keep saying it.
It's like when you write a wish on a piece of paper and you roll it up and tie it to a balloon and send it off into the sky. That's what I'm getting from this bold prediction right here.
I see a flaming boat of paper mache on a night lake. That's what I see right there.
Oh man!
What, a Viking funeral?
The
Viking funeral is what I see.
With the floating lanterns with the candles that you just send off into the sky.
What are those, Japanese lanterns or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah. Anyway, something with a wish attached to it. And you're just like,
you mean blow on some dandelions out into the...
Exact. That's it.
That's what you're doing.
I like it.
You're
though.
tossing the in the fountain.
I do like it. You surprised me with that one.
See,
I like that a lot. All right,
what's your second one, Ben?
My second bold prediction. Oh, and honestly, again, Alex, I did a couple of these just
to spite me,
just to spite you, just because you talk about my love for orange.
Yes,
I do love the color.
I don't think he did it to spite me. I just did it because, or I think he did it because he can't help himself. I mean, it's full on addiction.
But guess what?
Ben has been betting brown since 2015.
I told him that the other day, and he's over here saying, "No, I don't like the Browns that much. I just like the value."
Well, I'm using another one of these.
No,
it's my turn.
I love it, Ben. You keep doing that. You keep grinding that out.
I'm going to, absolutely. All right, bold prediction number 2 from me, Ben, is...
What about Odell?
Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy will both be top 24 wide receivers this year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Both.
And I don't know what world that is.
This world, 2020.
They got to run. They got to run the ball 30 times, though. You forgot about that.
Do they got to? Do they got to do that?
To.
Is that it?
That's the Broncos way.
That's what Elway said.
Is that what they're going to do? Guess what?
That's what they've always done.
There's going to be enough passing volume to go around for both Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy to just absolutely tear it up. We know what we're getting in Cortland Sutton, so let's focus on Jerry Jeudy a little bit.
Are they going to forget about
Jeudy? They're
going to forget about Noah Fant?
Oh, no, Noah Fant.
What about KJ Hamler?
KJ Hamler's hurt.
Oh. What about
KJ.
What about the running backs?
That leads me into – would you let me talk? So that leads me into why Jerry Jeudy will be up there in the top 24. Because KJ Hamler is going to start out real slow. He's hurt right now. He's probably not going to start for the first few weeks. That means Tim Patrick's going to be next up. I don't think they believe in Deshaun Hamilton. It does not sound that way coming out of Broncos camp.
They soured on him last year.
Yes, exactly. Well, and he had some really bad drops last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do you remember that slant route in the end zone? He's by himself and he just double caught it.
I trust me. I vividly remember. Tim Patrick's going to be out there. It sounds like in Broncos camp, Jerry Jeudy has been living up to everything he's been hyped up to be. Every time Drew Lock looks his way, he's open.
Hype horn?
We can hype horn it. Absolutely.
So some camp hype you buy, some you don't.
Everything he says. Alex.
No, listen. Jerry Judy's been open every time Drew Lock has been looking his way. He is everything they wanted to get out of him as a route runner. And he's going to be more than likely, especially with the KJ Hamler injury, playing in the slot a ton this year. Can you picture Jerry Jeudy lined up against safeties and linebackers? Let's just think about it.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Really.
I closed my eyes and I could see it.
Really good. So Jerry Jeudy, it's sounding more and more like he's going to get utilized in the slot a lot more this year. And if that's the case, Drew Lock already loves him some Jerry Jeudy.
Ben, I'm going to ask you a question while I'm talking about this thing for the next 15 seconds. Look it up, okay?
Okay.
Last season, how many pass attempts did the Denver Broncos average per game?
That's a good
And the only thing that I wanted to talk about while you look that up is that they have, I would say, other than the Cleveland Browns, the best running back duo in the NFL. So, I mean, I just don't understand how Phillip Lindsay and Melvin Gordon both don't get at least 10 carries a game, and Melvin Gordon probably 5 catches a game. I mean, that's like isn't that almost like a fourth of the offense already?
Yeah, not to
I
mention
don't know. Broncos pass very much.
Oh, it's going to be just fine. Let's see. They attempted 504 passes last year total. 504, which is kind of
divide that by 16.
Right in the middle. That's right in the middle of the league there. I mean,
it's not a lot.
It's not a whole lot. But guess what? When they are passing, it's going to be going to Cortland Sutton and Jerry Judy. All right.
So excited. You know what?
Sheesh.
This,
you guys can't let me get a
Cortland
bold
Sutton.
prediction out without interrupting me every 3 seconds.
Well,
Good.
I just want to say, in a vacuum, Cortland Sutton and Jerry Judy.
That's what
so
you get.
good.
All right.
I'm serious.
We're moving on
Very
to bold
good.
prediction number 3 from Matt. What do you got?
This has gone off the rails, people. I'm sorry.
Okay. Do you guys want 1, 2, or 3? They're
Whichever.
all happy.
They're all, I was gonna say whichever one is the positive one.
Number 2.
Number 2? Okay. Well, and first off, I want to say sorry to Kyle because I just realized I've bashed 2 of his first 4 round players, Kyler Murray and DJ Chark. Sorry about that, Kyle.
Yeah, way to go.
I didn't mean to. Okay, number 2. Here's my other ones real quick, and then I'll do number 2. Derrick Henry will be the RB1 overall, retain his rushing title. And then the other one was Josh Jacobs will be a top 3 RB. Don't worry about those, though. This one is Keenan Allen and Tyler Lockett will be top 15 wide receivers.
Okay.
Keenan Allen and Tyler Lockett both?
Both in the top 15. Yep.
Ooh.
I mean, like,
Both wide receiver ones, basically.
well,
I mean, we know how I feel about Tyler Lockett just from
yeah.
Sasquatch Square-Off the other day. So
I mean, you can just make it top wide receiver 12 so that we can say wide receiver ones.
So you think they're going to finish 11-12?
He's stepping it up even more.
Okay, well.
Yeah,
Well, it's a
say
little
11,
more.
12.
It's a little more
I mean,
bolder, I guess.
I definitely, I've
Well, so
come
last
around
year
a
the
lot more
difference
on
between
Keenan Allen.
15 and was like 50 yards, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty close. I mean,
Yeah,
it really
so
was.
It doesn't really matter.
I mean, they've both finished like very, very close to those positions.
They were both
last
there
2
last
years.
year.
Yeah, so.
But here's the hot take. The hot take is that the Chargers have a completely different offense with a new quarterback, and the Seahawks have DK Metcalf, who apparently is the second coming of Jesus Christ.
What? I haven't heard that.
Oh, well, that's all I hear on the thing.
There's
on
Calvin
the
Johnson,
fantasy
I've heard that.
There,
Well, I mean, yeah. But that's what I'm saying is that DK Metcalf's the wide receiver 1, and don't worry about Tyler Lockett. Don't even draft him. This guy's taking over. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, this guy has probably the 3rd best hands in the NFL.
it sounds like I swung Matt's opinion on the last Square-Off.
Apparently, you did.
Well, I love Tyler Lockett. He can catch anything thrown to him. He's got glue hands.
His target totals just keep on going up too.
Well, I will say this. Did you guys know that between Doug Baldwin and Tyler Lockett, Doug Baldwin, I just heard it this morning on a podcast. Doug Baldwin, it took 3 or 4 years before he got 100 targets in the offense with the Hawks. Tyler Lockett took 2 or 3 years to get 100 targets in the offense. DK Metcalf did it his very first year. So they're going to be throwing the ball to him a lot.
Yeah, but they had a guy in the backfield when old Baldwin was there. He was pretty good. What was his name again?
Doug Baldwin?
Marshawn.
Oh, yeah, Marshawn Lynch. Yeah. So that might be kind of why, too.
Well,
They didn't really pass the ball very much.
He didn't get 100 targets until his 4th year with the team.
I know. That's what I'm saying. They just fed Marshawn. Marshawn had like 18
Okay, well, what
carries
about
a game.
But
what do you got for Lockett?
It's not fair for Lockett because he had Doug Baldwin there in his first couple of years.
Okay, well now
So all the targets were going
Metcalf had Lockett.
Yeah, Lockett was injured for the last half of the season, though. I mean, he
I'm
was
just saying.
he was
And Chris
hurting.
Carson, as much as I love Chris Carson, he's no Marshawn.
All right.
The passing offense is gonna go through Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. I mean,
Yeah, there's no dispute.
And Will Disley.
and the passing offense is gonna go through Austin Eckler and Keenan Allen in LA. So
yeah, there's no getting
Well,
around
everyone's just like killing Keenan Allen right now, and I'm like, oh, well, he's still the same guy. All Tyrod's got to do is put it like in that zone.
he's
still Keenan Allen.
They're gonna funnel
top 3 route runner in the NFL.
They're gonna funnel targets his way for sure.
Probably, and especially with Mike Williams being down and out.
Absolutely. I like your Derrick Henry being the number 1 overall running back in fantasy. Hot take.
Yeah, what do you guys think about that Josh
little bit
Jacobs?
More. Josh Jacobs, he was my dark horse.
Yeah.
Top 3. I think that he's going to catch 60 balls this year.
We'll see. They're talking about bringing Darwin Gumbawale in there now. Why do they keep signing pass catching backs?
Hey, Matt only gets 3, all right? We're moving on.
No,
Jeez.
All right.
Keep it on the tracks here.
We are moving on. All right. Alex, bold prediction number 3.
My last bold prediction for the 2020 season is Pat Mahomes will break the single season touchdown record this year.
You think he's going to throw 56 touchdown passes?
He's throwing 56. He's going to beat Peyton Manning's record of 55. He's throwing 56 this year, folks. That's my bold prediction. Mark it down.
My good. You think Pat Mahomes is going to need to throw the ball or throw 56 touchdowns?
I don't think they need to. I think they're going to.
Oh, my goodness.
Listen, the last time that we had something kind of similar to this, where there was a very short offseason with practices and programs, was the last time that the NFL had a lockout, which I'm forgetting the date off the top of my head. But at that season, there were a ton of people that threw for 30, 40-plus touchdowns that year. So just saying, I think defenses are going to be the side of the ball that's going to struggle the most with this shortened offseason.
If there's anybody that's going to do it, it would be Pat Mahomes, as he's already one of the only 3 to ever throw for 50 touchdowns or more. So
I will say I kind of like it because of the upgrade at the running back with the pass catching abilities of CEH. I don't know. Maybe.
Interesting. Bold, sir. Bold.
Bold.
Very bold. All right, my last bold prediction here is a little contrary to Matt's. What was that? The first one? The DJ Chark one. Gardner Minshew will be a top 12 quarterback in fantasy this season.
Oh, my God.
While his team finishes dead last place and he gets replaced by Trevor Lawrence next year.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Gardner Minshew going to be a QB1, but he's going to get replaced by Trevor Lawrence.
I see.
Going into 2021.
I mean, it's bold, but it's not that bold.
We already talked about it a little bit. They're going to have to throw. They got rid of Leonard Fournette. Matt, you talked about it. They have Raquel Armstead and Divine Ozigbo in the backfield.
Well, it's not like other defenses are going to be like, they're going to run the ball today. I mean, everyone knows
how often have you lost a fantasy matchup on garbage points when the other team just has to play prevent defense?
Well,
teams are going to have to play prevent defense after the first quarter going against the Jaguars this year.
I have, but it's been to guys like Mike Evans, Jameis Winston, and Andre Johnson, and whoever that guy was, Tom Savage. I don't know.
None of those sound any better than Gardner Minshew.
I don't think. What I'm saying is, I don't think that DJ Chark is anywhere near. You have to have like an elite guy to be like to get those like Mike Evans or Andre Johnson or Chris Godwin.
It doesn't matter when the defense is playing 20 yards deep and he's just chucking it down to Chris Conley and D.D. Westbrook. Down low, and they're just running for yards and just gathering up those pass yards for Gardner. And then Gardner will rush, too.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. He's actually an underrated running quarterback. He racked up quite a few yards last year. So
I'm telling you, Gardner Minshew is going to be a quarterback one on the back of garbage time points alone this season. I love
that guy. I'm a big fan of him, but
it's going to happen.
Bold, sir.
It's going to happen.
Matt, you've already seen it with Blake Bortles before, so...
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, but then again, that's the exact thing I'm talking about. Allen Robinson is elite.
So there's another draftee of Kyle's, by the way. So there you go, Kyle guy. You got him in the last round of our draft.
Man.
Gardner?
Yeah, and you can enjoy it.
Oh, I mean, I love Gardner. He's awesome. I don't know about that.
Top 12 quarterback this year. All right, let's run through all three of your bold predictions again real quick there, Sasquatch, just to remind everybody.
Okay, Kyler outside of the top 12 quarterbacks, DJ Chark outside the top 20 wide receivers, and Keenan Allen and Tyler Lockett inside of the top 12, both wide receiver ones.
Right on. Alex, what are your three?
Brian Edwards will be the best rookie wide receiver this season. Will Fuller plays all 16 games. And Pat Mahomes breaks the single-season touchdown record and throws for over 55 touchdowns.
All right, my three bold predictions for 2020. Nick Chubb will be a top 7 running back, while Kareem Hunt is a top 15 running back. Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy both will be top 24 wide receivers. And Gardner Minshew will be a top 12 fantasy quarterback and get replaced by Trevor Lawrence next season. All right.
My other one was Jonnu Smith and TJ Hawkinson, top 5 tight end.
You've had enough bold takes, all right? You just keep rattling them off. Just stop.
Squatch is all about the bold. He's all about the bold predictions. I love it.
They're fun.
All right. We're going to take a quick break here because this is a mega long Fantasy Chairmen Podcast / Sasquatch Square-Off, and we're celebrating the start of the NFL 2020 season. We'll be coming right back to talk about NFL Week 1. We'll give you a preview and some predictions. Hey, Alex.
What?
So when you're on a boat and you're on like a rocky ocean, and you're drifting out to sea, what's the best way to keep your boat like sturdy and just staying still?
Oars?
No, not even close. You throw out your anchor.
Oh, your anchor. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
You throw out your anchor. You know what I like to do to keep my podcast steady and just sturdy while everything else seems to be rocky and wavy around me?
Not oars, right?
Not oars. It's Anchor again.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Anchor.fm. Let me explain. This app is free, completely free to host your podcast on.
Like 100% free?
100% free. And you get unlimited storage for all your episodes.
Unlimited?
Unlimited.
Unlimited.
As Russell Wilson would say.
Yes.
That's right. It's also got creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer.
Well, I'm all about that.
I know. And it also distributes your podcast for you, so it can be heard on the likes of Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all of them.
What's not to like?
It's great. You can even make money from your podcast, Alex.
And we're all about that.
And you don't need minimum listenership. So,
that's
that's a real good thing. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. You need to download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started.
I'm getting right on it right now.
Keep your boat and your podcast sturdy. And we're back. NFL Week 1 preview. We're going to take you through all the matchups happening here in Week 1 of the NFL season. And we're not going to dive too deep into each one, but we'll give you a little peek into what to be looking for, and then who we think our fantasy MVP is going to be from those specific games as we talk about them. So we will dive into that here. Let's see. I'm going to be starting. All right. We're kicking off on Thursday.
That's wild.
Kicking off on Thursday, Alex.
Thursday night.
We've got
It's going to happen. We're going to have a season.
Thank goodness. I was so worried. But things seem to be going well with all the NFL protocols. And not many COVID positives are popping up.
So far, so good.
Let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's keep knocking on wood, and things are going to go well. And we're kicking off on Thursday night, September 10th, with the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, versus
the Chiefs,
the Houston Texans. This is going to be a fun one. I'm thinking we're going to see some fireworks early on in the NFL season. We're going to see, the most high-powered offense in the NFL going off against the Texans, whose defense is not what it used to be. Not near as scary as it once was. Patrick Mahomes, it doesn't matter what their defense looks like really anyway. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and now Clyde Edwards-Helaire are going to be running all over the Houston Texans, throwing the ball, airing it out, scoring points. Deshaun Watson's going to be trying to do the same. He's got a bunch of burners there now with Brandon Cooks in the fold. Will Fuller is healthy for now.
Come on, bold prediction.
Bold prediction. Let's go. He's got Randall Cobb there now, who, ate up some targets down low with the Cowboys last year, and David Johnson in the backfield. I think it's going to be a little sticky, maybe a little slow going for the Texans early on. A lot of guys that need to build on into the offense and learn how to work with each other. But Chiefs, I'm predicting take this one for sure. And my fantasy MVP for this matchup is going to be old Patty Mahomes.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Which one are you more excited to see, you guys? CEH on the Chiefs or the new retooled Texans offense?
Probably CEH for me.
Yeah, see, I think that it's going to take a couple games to really see what he's got. I think these first ones are going to kind of be auditions, but I could be wrong, obviously. We saw Kareem Hunt, like Kyle mentioned this morning, and that's a great point. I'm really excited to see David Johnson, though, because it's like do or die.
Yeah, I'm excited to see David Johnson as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I got quite a bit of stock in David Johnson, so we'll see.
So you're real excited.
Let's go, David Johnson. All right, we'll pass it over to Alex for the next matchup.
Our next matchup will be the New York Jets against the Buffalo Bills on Sunday.
Talk about a barn burner.
Man, look out. A couple of titans of the industry here.
No, these are the Jets and Bills.
Oh, sorry.
The
Yes.
Titans are later.
Oh, yes. That's my mistake.
This is one of the Sunday morning games.
Well, needless to say, our most favorite head coach is going to be showing his grasp on the Jets offense here with the souls that he's going to provide out there without sucking any.
He should be levitating on the sideline.
Just in a all black cloak.
Just hovering there.
Skeleton hands poking out.
Oh, man. You may know him as Adam Gase for some people.
The Dementor.
The Dementor. Fantasy Dementor. But, yeah, so it's we got the Jets against the Bills. You got Sam Darnold looking to come into – is this his third year? Third year now.
Third year
and second year with Le'Veon Bell. Hopefully they I don't know if they've been working much on the offseason, but hopefully their chemistry's been a little bit better. We're hoping we're going to get to see Denzel Mims, the Jets rookie wide receiver they drafted.
He started practicing again.
Hopefully he can come back from that hamstring injury. The Jets also acquired Brashad Perriman, kind of a big play wide receiver. And then you also got Jameson Crowder there and Chris Herndon. Coming into the season so far, he's kind of healthy. He's had a few nicks and bruises, but it'd be kind of, hopefully all the Jets can put, all the pieces together and we could finally see what they truly have on offense there. The Buffalo Bills, you got, their young quarterback Josh Allen out there, dynamic quarterback, new addition of Stephon Diggs. We talked about John Brown earlier, very steady wide receiver. Young up-and-comer and Dawson Knox at the tight end for the Bills. Keep an eye on that guy. And then you got two running backs here, Devin Singletary, who showed out last year, and then the newly drafted Zach Moss. So looking to provide a little 1-2 punch there. I don't see this being a too crazy high-score game, and I think the MVP of this one will be Josh Allen. I think he'll score the most points.
Ooh, okay. All right. I like it. Let's move on. Matt, what's our next matchup?
Well, I just wanted to say also Brashad Perriman, I think he just got a knee scope because his knee's all bulgy, isn't it?
Oh,
I didn't see anything that he got it scoped. I know he's been taking some time off for injury, but I didn't know he got scoped.
Yeah, the Jets are pretty
Dementor is going to be gone by week 4, man.
Let's
gone.
all hope so.
I
Gase, go back to finding an assistant job. We'd be okay with that.
Or working with Manning.
Coaching quarterbacks.
Yeah. Yes, go back to that.
Next one is the Seahawks and the Falcons.
What?
Is this one a gelled one?
No, we
You jumped ahead.
you jumped way ahead here.
Packers, Vikings, dog.
Yeah.
Oh, my fault. Sorry, guys.
Are you paying attention to the board?
Oh, my bad. Nope. Now I am. Sorry. Packers, Vikings.
Next one is the one I say it is, so we're going with that.
We're just going to skip these other 9 matchups here.
Part of the
whatever.
show, part of the crew.
Yeah,
Packers,
left to
Vikings.
right, top to bottom.
That's
The Squatch is
that's a
still
great-
learning how to read. It's okay.
It's all right.
Okay, Packers and Vikings, Matt. All right.
That's a great rivalry matchup, guys. It's going back 100 years. Whoopity-doo.
100 years?
I'm really excited to see Devontae Adams catch 20 passes because that's all they have.
What? They got
And,
Lazard.
Lazard King.
Alan Lazard. You know what? I actually had this. I actually like Alan Lazard. I really do. I mean, like I just like seeing like Wes Welker type dudes. I'm not saying that he plays like Wes Welker, but I just like undrafted Austin Eckler type players and watching them do well. Mike Cass.
What happened to him?
We don't want to talk about that. But I just honestly don't. He doesn't do anything other than be a possession receiver. Honestly, he's not explosive. It's not like he's like a huge body. I mean, I think he's 6'4", but he doesn't play like he's 6'4". Like he's gonna make a few plays, but honestly, he's gonna be within like 4 to 6 catches, within like 40 to 80 yards, and maybe a touchdown every 3 games. I mean, I don't know. I don't see it.
Back to the preview.
You're going on about Lazard.
Man, you were tangents today, man.
What else are we looking at? Packers and Vikings.
So on the Packers, honestly, I think LaFleur thinks he's going to run the ball every play. That's not going to happen. I think that I'm excited to see who the real tight end is in Green Bay, because there's a lot of talk about Sternberger and Tonyan. I forgot his name. Robert Tonyan.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently he's the pass catching tight end in Green Bay. So we're going to figure that out.
Got a 3-headed running back monster there, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See how much A.J. Dillon gets used. Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
Love
I don't
Aaron
think
Jones.
A.J. Dillon gets very many carries in this game, though. I think I think that Aaron Jones is the guy finally.
Well, that is not what LaFleur's been preaching, so.
Nope.
Yeah, but that guy's an idiot.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see
What do you have on the
we'll see what
Vikings
happens.
side?
What about BC Johnson? He's reportedly starting there alongside Adam Thielen with Kirk Cousins. Justin Jefferson.
BC Johnson is
not
dirt
starting
underneath
right
Alan
now.
Lazard in my mind. I don't even. You can't sell that to me if it was covered in gold.
Who is your fantasy MVP for the Packers-Vikings game, Matt?
It's got to be Devontae Adams. If not, Dalvin Cook. But I don't see how Devontae Adams doesn't catch like 15 catches for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns or something like that.
Does Dalvin Cook play week 1 with no contract extension?
Oh, yeah, he will. He's looking to get paid. He knows that. I mean, he didn't play a handful. Like, has he even played a full season yet? He doesn't have any leverage like Derrick Henry did.
Yeah, and
all these other
this new
guys.
CBA, I think it makes it much more difficult for players to hold out because
They sit in instead.
They do. They sit in, and he would have to come back and play at some point. Otherwise,
He doesn't accrue you. Yeah.
And
He knows he's got to prove it. So, it is what it is. So he's going to ball out to get paid, but I don't think there's no way that Devontae is going to get outplayed in this game. There's going to be very few games where he gets outplayed.
So Devontae's your MVP of this matchup?
Devontae Adams, MVP of the Packers-Vikings matchup.
You can take that to the bank.
Okay.
Week 1. All right. Okay, next matchup we got here. We got the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Washington football team. And this is another Sunday morning game. And we've got the Eagles, who seem to be hurting at wide receiver again.
Hurting at running back too, man.
Hurting at running back. We'll see just how much Miles Sanders is available with this lower body injury that's been so mysterious. Carson Wentz, he was sore for a little while. I think he's okay now. But Carson Wentz will be out there slinging the rock to Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert again. Deshaun Jackson, will we see a repeat of last year's opening game against Washington? We'll see. Hopefully he can stay healthy after that. Jalen Reagor, he's banged up now. I don't think he's going to be playing in week 1. So
he might. I thought I saw something that said he has a chance.
Yeah, potentially.
Maybe.
Greg Ward, man.
Greg Ward.
Let's go.
Boston Scott.
Let's go. Then we got old Dwayne Haskins, who was designated the starter for Washington. Yep. He'll be there with Washington. Terry McLaurin. How much are they going to use Steven Sims, who is a lot of people have been hyping him up as a sneaky late-round pick this whole offseason.
Or Antonio Gandy-Golden.
Or Antonio Gandy-Golden. Or Antonio Gibson. That's what I'm going to be excited to watch in this matchup is just how much Antonio Gibson gets used and what kind of committee we may end up looking at the rest of the year.
I am excited to see
with
that.
Washington. That's going to be exciting to see. I'm going to go with my fantasy MVP for this matchup being Zach Ertz. I think he's going to get fed the ball a ton early and often from Carson Wentz in week 1. Old reliable target. He trusts him. And with this offseason, it's going to go to Zach Ertz in week 1 here. Alex, next up.
Our next matchup is going to be the Browns versus the Ravens, another Sunday morning game.
I'm heavily invested in this game.
Yeah, you are. You are. I think you guys already know who the guys that you really want to keep an eye on either team. You know, the Ravens, you got Lamar, you got Mark Ingram, Marquise Hollywood Brown, you got Mark Andrews, maybe some J.K. Dobbins. It'll be kind of interesting to see what that split between Ingram and Dobbins will be. And then on the other side of the ball, you got Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, Austin Hooper, Kareem Hunt. Anyone else I'm forgetting?
Nick Chubb?
Yeah, well, that guy too. Yeah, Nick Chubb. So I truly think that the Ravens they're going to be scoring at will against the Browns, and I think the Browns are going to be having to play in catch-up mode the entire game. So I think it'll be first to the finish line kind of deal, and I think the Ravens will end up winning this one. And I think Lamar Jackson's going to continue to do what he was doing last year, and he will be the MVP for this matchup this week.
Ooh, I like it a lot. All right. Matt, you're up next with this matchup here.
All right. That is definitely not the Seahawks and the Falcons.
No, it's not.
The next one is the Colts Jaguars. And pretty much I was looking at this matchup earlier, and I'm going to say it right now. Get your popcorn because it's Jonathan Taylor time. He is going to destroy the Jaguars.
Ooh.
Destroy.
All right. Not worried about Marlon Mack?
No. I mean, Mack might – I mean, both of them are going to do well because they're behind Quentin Nelson and company, and they're the best offensive line in the NFL. It's not even close. But Jonathan Taylor is about to light the Jaguars on fire. And then, honestly, if I'm Frank Reich, I'm going play action, tossing it to Paris Campbell and T.Y., a little bit of Michael Pittman. It's going to be fun to watch. The Colts are just going to destroy them.
Just going to watch them tear up the Jaguars, huh?
Oh, yeah. Fantasy MVP is JT, no doubt.
Ooh.
Jonathan Taylor. Okay.
Ooh, okay. Right. I like it. All right, next matchup. Still a Sunday morning game. We got a bunch of Sunday morning
games. Lots of Sunday morning games.
Man, we've got the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Carolina Panthers, and this one's intriguing to me too. I think this has the potential to be a very fantasy friendly matchup for fantasy football players out there. With Derek Carr and company taking on the Carolina Panthers, we'd be looking for Derek Carr, just see how much usage Josh Jacobs gets in the passing game. I'm gonna be watching that pretty heavily in this one. Henry Ruggs, how often he gets used and where he's being used is going to be fun to watch. And then same with Bryan Edwards. Just see how many snaps that he gets in week 1 here with these rookie wide receivers. that'll be exciting. And then the Walrus, Darren Waller,
Ooh,
himself. See if Derek Carr just keeps funneling targets his way early on. I think we're going to see a pretty good game from Darren Waller here in week 1. Again, just with some of these rookies potentially starting a little bit slower, just being the first live action that they've seen in the NFL so far. I think with the offseason the way it's been, we'll see Darren Waller kind of thrive in this matchup here. On the other side, CMC, what else can you say about him? He's going to tear it up. Ball's going to get funneled his way. We'll be able to watch Teddy Bridgewater now as the starting quarterback of the Carolina Panthers. Kind of keep an eye on him and how deep he's throwing the ball. Will be fun to see. See how often he targets DJ Moore. And then I am interested to see how Robbie Anderson and Curtis Samuel get used. If they're how interchangeable those two are, or how much usage each one gets there.
Outside of the Raiders' rookie wide receivers, I'm excited to see the Panthers' offense, like you said, with head coach Matt Rule and offensive coordinator Joe Brady. I'm curious there's been a lot of speculation of how it might look, with all the weapons, like you said. I'm excited to see what it looks like.
Yep, exactly. And we'll see how Ian Thomas gets used too, with no Greg Olsen there with the Panthers anymore as well.
He's got the job to himself.
Fantasy MVP for this matchup, CMC, and I'm calling the Panthers taking a win in this one.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, yeah. All right, next one for Alex.
All right, our next matchup, another Sunday morning game. It's going to be the Chicago Bears against the Detroit Lions. So the Bears, man, it sounds like the quarterback competition is going to have Mitch Trubisky coming out on top by a nose. Oof. So they're going to be rolling out Trubisky week 1. We'll see what they got. I'm hoping Matt Nagy has took the off-season time to figure out, hey, I need to just go back to doing what I know was working and need to quit trying to outsmart everybody and then end up outsmarting myself. So get the ball to those Allen Robinson. You're probably not going to have David Montgomery that first week there. He'll probably be shelved. So try and get a little creative with Tariq Cohen and Cordell Patterson.
What about Ryan Wrecking-Nall?
The Wrecking-Nall, yeah.
Man.
Get him some
Go
touches. Anthony Miller, get these guys the rock.
Yeah.
Newly acquired Jimmy Graham's there too. I heard he's been looking good in camp.
Yeah.
So I hope they're going to be able to get things back on track.
Jimmy Graham tears up the yard on Madden.
Ooh, yeah, that's what you've been saying. Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions, you got Matt Stafford back and healthy, ready to start the season. You got Marvin Jones as well, healthy, ready to tear it up. Kenny Golladay, sounds like their rookie running back DeAndre Swift that they drafted has been injured a little bit through training camp. Sounds like he's been getting some limited practices in the last couple days, so they might be trying to bring him in slowly. Like we said, Adrian Peterson just got signed by the Lions, so he'll be there to help as well. You got Carry-On still there, so I think this one will be kind of a grinder, but I think the Lions are going to end up coming out on top, and my fantasy MVP for this one is going to be Kenny G.
Ooh, Galladay long. All right. Matt, Sasquatch, next.
I love the Galladay pick.
Next
hey
matchup.
Guys, next pick is the Seahawks and the Falcons.
Oh, look at that.
What's that?
That's our jackpot pick of the week.
Oh.
NFL matchups. Matt was so excited, he just tried to jump ahead on this.
He wanted to just say it right off the bat.
He was ready for it.
Why don't you kind of explain to him what our jackpot matchup is?
Our jackpot matchup of the week. This is one that we think is going to be extremely fantasy friendly for you, depending on the week. And we're going to do this throughout the season. We will pick a jackpot matchup of the week for you. We think you're going to want a piece of this matchup, this game, because there's going to be heavy points involved for everybody on the field.
Lots of scoring.
So this,
Boy, I sure hope so.
This matchup right here is our Matt started his draft out with 3 Falcons out of the first 4 picks. So
yeah,
Not normally recommended, but when some people zig, you got to zag, I guess, and Matt did that.
Right into a wall.
Well, you make it sound so awful.
It's quite unconventional.
As the Falcons
I'm a
go,
value
Matt's
trader and a
fantasy
value
team will
drafter, and you guys were just. I mean, Todd Gurley was just sitting there past his ADP, so snagged him. Julio fell, snagged him. Calvin Ridley fell, snagged him. Man, I can't do anything about it. I almost snagged Hayden Hurst.
I don't think Ridley really fell. I think you kind of reached on Ridley a little bit.
You know what, Squatch? We got some good news for you because this is our jackpot pick of the week. What are we looking for here?
Okay, well, I'm going to start on the Seahawks side. I know that the Falcons defense kind of made some strides last season, but I see them getting torn apart in this game. I see Chris Carson around the 80 to 100 yards range with maybe a touchdown, depending on game flow. I see Lockett 80 to 100 receiving yards. I see DK Metcalf with probably less than Lockett, but I see him with a touchdown before Lockett just because he's a red zone guy. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited to see Big Montana. I want to see how that knee is, baby. I love rooting for that guy.
What about Greg Olsen?
Awesome.
Yeah, you're writing Greg Olsen off. The guy's a stud.
His time in the sun is done. He's had his fun. He's just there to kind of high five and make sure that Big Montana's on a good path.
Dude, he's starting over Will Disley. You know that, right?
I know that, but I just don't. I mean, I'm not saying he's not good. He's good. I don't really care about him.
Okay,
fair enough.
And then on the Falcons side, I'm a little biased, but obviously I'm
highly invested.
What?
Highly invested biased.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see the running game. I think that almost every single quality of Todd Gurley is identical to Devontae Freeman, so I pretty much don't see how. What I'm hoping for is 2015 Devontae Freeman from Todd Gurley.
That would be
we'll
an uninjured player.
He's had pretty solid load management in the off season and the training camp. So I think that his knee is all ready to go to start the season. Obviously Julio's going to do Julio. You said over under 100 from Vegas, right?
That was something like that.
Yeah, so he's going to get his. He's Julio. You can't stop him. That's like the clockwork. And then Calvin Ridley, I know everyone's excited to see how good he does this year. So like you said, I could see this game like cumulative points around between 45 and 60 points. A burner.
I like it.
Matt didn't mention either of the quarterbacks.
Matt Ryan, Russell Wilson going to throw that ball.
Dude, and the thing is, they're both ballers. I mentioned everyone else but them because, we both know Russ and Matt are going to get, they're almost unstoppable. They're not even, what do you call it when they play a hard team, but it doesn't matter?
What's that?
When you play a hard team, but it doesn't matter?
Oh, yeah, matchup dependent.
Matchup proof, man.
Yeah, okay. Fate.
Okay.
Fate.
It doesn't matter who they're playing.
Okay.
Russ could play the Ravens. He's still going to get his.
Yeah,
I don't
know
the word.
No, I can see these two potentially scoring at will on each other.
What's Hayden Hurst going to do?
Ooh.
Oh, I'm really excited to see Hayden Hurst. I hope that he's just not – everyone's like, he's just going to jump right into the Austin Hooper role. And I'm like, dude, he is twice the athlete of Austin Hooper. He is like the Terminator.
Oh, the Terminator of
He's
tight
a machine.
Oh, man.
Hayden Hurstinator.
Okay, who's your MVP for this game and who wins?
I've been going back and forth. I honestly think
Squatch bellows as he thinks.
I think the MVP is Russell Wilson.
Okay, all right. Who wins?
Hawks win.
All right.
Battle of the Birds.
I like it. I like it
a lot. That Russ goes over 300 yards passing, and he has one rushing touchdown and 2 to 3 passing touchdowns.
Ooh,
Just has a monster of a day.
All right. Monster week 1.
Big game from Russell Wilson.
All right.
You heard it from Squatch.
Ben, over under. How long into the season until Matt breaks up his Falcons trio. Over under. Week 5. Over under. Under? You think he does?
He's going to do it.
You think he doesn't like it?
Do it real
He's going to
fast.
see it a couple weeks and go, nah, I'm out.
He's going to be feeling great about it week 1, and then after week 2, he's going to be like, I got to make some trades, man.
I already put 2 of them on the block. 30 minutes into draft.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Alex questioned that. All right, and that was our jackpot matchup of the week right there. Seahawks versus Falcons. You want a piece of it. Next matchup that we got on the docket, still a Sunday morning game, and last one here is the Dolphins versus the Patriots, and all I can think about in this one is kind of it's just, who knows.
Why blub?
Has Fitzmagic been named the starting quarterback yet?
I believe he is the
official?
starting quarterback.
So you got Fitzpatrick, who we all know what Fitzmagic does. He sends it. And Devontae Parker, I'm going to be excited to see if he can maintain what he was doing through the end of last season. My dark horse wide receiver 1. Ooh. I don't think that's actually going to happen. Dark horse for it. But keep your eyes on Devontae Parker. I'll be excited, too, to see just how much usage Preston Williams gets coming off the ACL. See if he gets a heavy workload to start things off or not. I'm not anticipating it, but we will see. And then how often Mike Gesicki gets used in the slot as well will be something to keep an eye on. And
what about that backfield?
The usage between Jordan Howard and Matt Breida will be interesting to see what kind of splits that they get, if it's more 60-40, 50-50, 80-20. I obviously think Breida's going to be out there on the pass catching downs, and Jordan Howard's going to be the 1-2 down back. So,
watch out for Lynn Bowden Jr. If the Dolphins
go down early,
does
Jordan Howard get phased out of the game script?
It could happen, but I don't know. We'll see with the Patriots here. I mean, I'm not high on the Patriots until we've seen them gel a little bit more together. They did just trade for Lynn Bowden Jr., the Dolphins, so it'll be interesting to see if he gets any usage or much usage at all in this first week. I don't anticipate much in week 1. They're gonna want him to learn the system a little bit more, figure out how they want to use him. On the Patriots side, Cam Newton, new starting quarterback for the New England Patriots. See if he can return to form at all after coming off being injured the past 2 seasons. Then you got Julian Edelman there. N'Keal Harry, who reports on him have been all over the place in camp.
Bad.
James White, already talked about James White this episode. I think he's probably going to get the most usage out of those running backs there. I think we're going to see a pretty nasty committee, especially here in week 1. As long as, I don't know if Damian Harris is going to be able to play.
I don't know either.
Much or at all.
Dealing with a hand injury.
If that's the case, then we're going to see a lot of Sony Michel and Rex Burkhead, I believe.
Oof.
With James White probably being used more often in there than anything. And then the rookie tight ends will be interesting to watch, see how much they get used too, and how often they're out in 2 tight end personnel with Ossie and Dalton Keene, because I don't think they have anybody else outside of them now, really.
That's it.
Except for some guys that we've probably never heard of. But
yep.
Anyway,
I thought Ossie was hurt.
Did Ossie get hurt? I don't know. I heard he was maybe a little banged up, but I think he's going to be good to go for week 1.
If he was legit hurt, the Patriots should be going out to get somebody.
For sure. They don't really have anything else there. They traded up. Well, they traded up for Keene.
Yeah.
So both 3rd-round selections in the 2020 draft. Anyway,
Dolphins upset?
I'm really not excited fantasy-wise for this matchup. We'll see what happens. I think the Patriots end up winning the game. But I'm gonna call Fitzpatrick as the fantasy MVP for this game.
Ooh,
yeah,
Fitz magic, huh?
All right,
go Fins.
I'll cheer for the Dolphins too, but I'm just gonna say Patriots probably gonna win. All right, next matchup, Alex.
All right, our next matchup, first Sunday afternoon game here.
Yeah,
we got the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. The Charger side of the ball, we're going to kind of see a new offense with Tyrod Taylor manning the helm for the quarterback position there. We've got Austin Eckler, who's going to be the lead back in the backfield there, along with Justin Jackson, as long as he's healthy, and then a newly acquired rookie running back, Joshua Kelly, who I've been hearing a lot. And
Eckler was hyping him up today.
Yep, I heard that too. Unfortunately, Mike Williams looks like he's probably going to be out for the first few games of the season, so that's going to kind of stink for him. So that means buku targets for Keenan Allen and Hunter Henry. And outside of that, I don't know of any other wide receivers really.
Jalen Guyton?
Yeah, whoever that is.
I don't know. I want to see how much they're going to use KJ Hill, the rookie wide receiver that they selected this year.
Could be interesting. KJ Hill wasn't much of an explosive wide receiver. He's a very good possession wide receiver from what I've heard. So, but no, I think Keenan Allen is going to just have targets funneled to him without Mike Williams there really helping out. I think Austin Eckler is going to keep, the same, if not more of a target share volume now, especially with Mike Williams being hurt. I think that, he's going to be getting split out wide plenty of times, I bet. So on the other side of the ball, we got the Cincinnati Bengals. I am stoked to kind of see these guys. Mainly for my my dynasty team investment of Joe Burrow.
Oh, the Burrow.
Lots of talk from Bengals camp. Sounds like Burrow is, he's picked up the offense and he's already looking like midseason form. Like he's got such a firm grasp on the offense. So it's great to see. AJ Green, a little banged up, but it sounds like he's getting work on the sidelines and hopefully he'll be ready for week 1. I really want to see him get back on the field and play. You got Tyler Boyd out there as well. Joe Mixon just signed a big contract extension. Excited to see him get out there and tear it up as well. Auden Tate performing really well in camp as
Joe
well.
Burrow has loved him some Auden Tate.
Lots of as wells. But, Auden Tate balling out apparently from what I've been hearing. And John Ross, too. Sounds like he a little banged up right after he came back from taking a break to help his family out. With the virus, but a little banged up at first, but I think he's healthy, and it's contract year for him. I'd really like to see him ball out and get either an extension from the Bengals or get paid to go somewhere else. So I think this could be kind of a underrated scoring game. I think there could be some points scored in this game, and I'm actually going to go with the Bengals. Joe Burrow gets his first W with his first start, and fantasy MVP gonna be Tyler Boyd.
Whoa,
like that?
Tyler Boyd.
Boyd.
Okay. Man, I hear what you're saying. I'm nervous about the Bengals in this one. The Chargers defense is still pretty stout. I know they lost Derwin James, but they got a pretty hefty front seven and signed Chris Harris Jr. this offseason, and the secondary is still fairly stout. Even with that, the Bengals O-line probably not going to be much improved. I could definitely see Cincinnati having to air it out here, but
it was between.
I like it. I like it
between Boyd and Eckler.
Yeah,
I like Boyd.
There you go, going with Boyd. All right, Squatch, next matchup.
Man, I did not know that they have Harris Jr.
Oh yeah,
that's bad. Anyway, next one is an awesome matchup. The Cardinals, we get to see DeAndre Hopkins in red. Actually, he was in red, Cardinal red, and we get to see the 49ers mess of wide receivers. We get to see how that's going to play out.
Yeah.
I think that the best parts of this game are going to be watching the workload that they give Kenyon, because we saw him he was in a boot and he's like, no, it's fine. So let's see how many touches he gets this game. Let's see how Cliff Kingsbury's game flow is going to work with his air raid, and how DeAndre fits into that, because apparently all three of them are going to go over 1,000 yards, which is foolish.
Ooh,
and let's see
claiming.
How the backfield for the 49ers plays out, because Mostert apparently is the guy and he's the one getting paid. So let's see how he does. And I want to see Debo play.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see if Debo even plays in this one.
I hope he stays healthy.
I do too, and we'll see what I'll be interested to see what Jerick McKinnon does. He's been hyped up on his pass catching prowess in camp here. So
outside of George Kittle on the Niners, it is a mess for the running backs, the wide receivers. I guess the quarterback is pretty well set, but I mean, man, Kittle's like the only for sure thing on the Niners.
For sure. We saw some pretty good games between the Cardinals and 49ers last year. Is it? Hey, Noah.
It's a baby Squatch.
All right,
Sorry, I unmuted it because I was going to say my MVP actually is Kittle.
Okay.
All right. Who do you think wins?
I don't think there's any way that the Cardinals beat the 49ers here. Their defense is too stout. The Kyler's going to get harassed all game long.
Oh, okay. 49er
So
win.
Cardinals get not like depressed, but Cardinals get a little disappointed in game one.
A little disappointed in game one. All right.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough. I like it. Next matchup, we've got, this will be a fun one to watch right here. This will be a fun one. This was another one we potentially could have picked for our jackpot game, but we've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees versus Tom Brady. Tom Brady's opening game with a brand new team in 19 seasons now?
Yep.
However, 19, 20 seasons. Wow. Yeah, we're going to see Tom Brady on a new team as well as Gronkowski. This will be interesting to see how often Gronk gets used and how often O.J. Howard gets used there. Cameron Brate still there. I've heard that there's going to be a rotation of sorts between those three guys. And then we'll see who Tom Brady favors between Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Ooh.
I know Mike Evans has been hyping up his friendship with Tom Brady now.
Has he really?
Oh, yeah.
You're the best of friends.
He's been posting stuff, man. Then we've got Leonard Fournette just signed there. They say Rojo's still the guy, but how long is that going to be the case? I guess we'll find out. See what kind of split there that Fournette and Rojo gets there. Who's going to be the pass catcher of the backs? We know that Tom Brady does like to throw to the running back. He's pretty good at hitting those flat routes and those out routes that those running backs like to. The wheel route especially. He loves the wheel route. Ooh. One of Tom Brady's favorites there. On the Saints, man, Drew Brees kind of status quo over there, except they added Emmanuel Sanders. So I'll be excited to see how often he gets targeted.
Oh, E-Man.
Yeah, if Drew Brees likes him some E-Man over there. Probably the best number 2 wide receiver he's had in a long time. And then Kamara, you've got Alvin Kamara in the backfield. He's going to be playing his part. And it'll be interesting to see how much work Latavius Murray gets. And if I don't think there's any threat of Kamara holding out. He's back at practice. Sounds like they're seeming to do okay now. I know the New Orleans Saints.
Hopefully this whole
social media was the spinal injury makes me a little bit more nervous.
Injection,
but,
I should say, not injury, the injection.
Yeah, not injury, injection. So that'll be
also,
something to watch.
It's a sacroiliac, right? Inflammation. So it's like his pelvis.
Yeah, it sounded like it was to help deal with some hip inflammation, from what I heard.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there was a couple of different reports that came out about what exactly it was, too. So I don't know. He claims to be okay, so it'll be interesting to see what his workload is. But I still think Kamara's going to Kamara.
I think he will, too.
I think Michael Thomas is going to be...
Especially a contract year.
Yeah. I think Michael Thomas is going to be heavily targeted. Both of these defenses are a little underrated, I think. So this may not be quite as high scoring as a lot of people will be expecting it to be. I'm
really glad you said that.
It may be a little bit more controlled, which is that's part of the reason we didn't choose this matchup as our jackpot matchup of the week. Just because both these defenses can tend to be fairly stout. They have their strengths that will, I believe, limit scoring in this one. I'm excited to see how everybody's meshing with Tom Brady, how he handles being amongst a new crowd, a new team, a new uniform. And opening up against a Saints team that has been together for a while now, and under Sean Payton's tutelage there. Tutelage.
Buccaneers rushing yards, total rushing yards over under 40 yards for the game.
Ooh, I'll go over 40.
Come
yeah.
on.
There may not be a back that gets over 40, but I'll go over 40 total. Yeah.
Aren't the Saints the 2019 number 1 rush defense in the NFL?
They were pretty good, yeah. But I'm
Rojo's
still
not that good, man.
They're splitting between Leonard Fournette and Rojo, so we'll see.
Do you think he's actually going to play in week 1?
I think Fournette will play, yeah. I don't think there's any reason for him not to.
Well, who's your MVP of this game, Ben, and who wins it?
MVP of this game, I'm going to go Michael Thomas.
Ooh.
And I am going to say, I'm going to say Tom Brady opens his final chapter in his career with a loss to the Saints. I think the Saints are going to win this game.
All right.
Yep. All right, Alex, next matchup.
Next matchup, our first of... No, actually, our only. I was looking at I was looking ahead a little bit.
Evening.
Our only Sunday evening game, the Sunday night football game, will be the Cowboys at the Rams. And talk about another fun offense that I'm excited to see on the Cowboys here. You got Dak Prescott going to be chucking the ball to a trio of excellent wide receivers in Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and CD Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of hype with all of those guys. Blake Jarwin also been getting some hype there, the tight end for the Cowboys. Now has the job to himself with Jason Witten moved on. You got Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard there. Man, they are loaded.
Stacked.
Loaded with weapons, needless to say. So, and on the opposite side of the ball, you got Jared Goff with the Rams. It's going to kind of still look like the very same offense from last year, except no more Todd Gurley, and then enter Cam Akers that was drafted this year.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see who is going to get the bulk of the carries. It'll be kind of a committee at first with Cam Akers, Darrell Henderson as long as he's healthy, and Malcolm Brown. So they'll all be kind of splitting carries there off the bat. You got Robert Woods still on the outside, ever steady option out there for Jared Goff. You got Cooper Kupp, healthy, ready to go this year again. And then you got both those tight ends, great tight ends, in Tyler Higbee. Tyler Higbee. And then Gerald Everett as well, which I heard earlier. Gerald Everett was receiving some trade interest from some teams there at the deadline. And the Rams were turning them down.
The roster cut down. Not the trade deadline. They're considering
not trade deadline. Roster deadline.
Yeah,
trade interest at the roster
cut down deadline. Yep.
Yeah. So I think this will be there'll be some points scored. Not a blowout necessarily, but I think the Cowboys are going to get it done and beat the Rams on this one. And I think
Please say CeeDee Lamb. Please say CeeDee.
Fantasy MVP is going to be Ezekiel Elliott.
All right. Okay.
What's Dak Prescott's answer for Marcus Peters and Jalen Ramsey?
CeeDee Lamb.
What?
Like
so
Jarwin.
Michael Gallup and Amari get shut down?
I don't think they're going to get shut down.
Jalen's pretty good. He might be the best.
Jalen is pretty good.
Is Peters with the Rams? I thought he was still with the Ravens.
I think Peters is with the Ravens. You've confused yourself, Sasquatch.
My bad. Who's on the other side? It was Talib, and then I thought it was Peters.
Well,
and then
Talib,
who's it now?
Talib is gone.
It was Talib, but he gone.
Long gone.
Yep.
But I thought it was Peters.
Peters still
No?
with the Ravens. Is it?
Let me look it up here. Hang on.
Yeah. Come on, Kyle.
Yeah, where's Kyle? All right, Sasquatch, start us off on the next matchup, and Alex will let us know who the other corner there is. And
It's with the Ravens.
Next matchup is
With the Ravens.
Peters. Yeah.
He's on the Ravens.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I guess just Amari getting shut down and Gallup's going off.
There we go. All right, next matchup.
Next matchup is Steelers and Giants, your Monday night game, the early game at 4:10. You are going to see everyone wants to see Saquon, obviously, but I think that it's not going to be the debut for 2020 that everyone wanted because the Steelers are loaded on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Minkah Fitzpatrick with a stout front four, a solid group of linebackers. I think that Minkah and company put the clamps on the Giants, and I don't think they score more than 1 or 2 touchdowns in this game.
Wow.
I think that on the other side of the ball, Steelers, all depends on Ben Roethlisberger and how he conducts the offense. If he has some rust, the game might be really boring early, but if Big Ben comes out and he starts firing, then I can see the Steelers winning this game by a couple of touchdowns.
Ooh, I like it. Good stuff.
Who's your MVP and who wins it?
MVP is James Conner. Steelers win it by a couple touchdowns, at least one.
Ooh, all right.
James Conner, huh?
I like it.
Nice. All right. And final matchup of week 1. Going into Monday Night Football, we've got the Tennessee Titans versus my Denver Broncos. Oh, yeah. Battle of Mile High.
I thought your team was the Browns.
Monday Night Football. Shut your face. All right. We'll see if King Henry can maintain his rushing prowess from last year. I think he does. The dude's an absolute freight train.
He's a monster.
They're going to continue to run the offense through Derrick Henry. I don't think we're going to see that change at all. We get to see A.J. Brown make his sophomore year debut along with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. So we'll see if that connection has remained true and if they can maintain the magic that they created towards the end of last season. Corey Davis, not too interested there.
I will say, I think this is probably going to be his best shot this year at doing something with Tannehill at quarterback, having a full offseason, not coming off an injury. I think this could be his best shot to do something this year.
We'll see.
Just keep
I heard that Corey Davis is the most talented wide receiver on the Tennessee Titans.
I've heard that's a statement from the head coach there, who he's said that a number of times. So, I mean, at a certain point, you got to prove it or lose it, you know. So, if he's going to do it, he's got to do it this year. This is contract year.
Devontae Parker.
It's possible. I'm just saying, keep an eye on him, people. Keep an eye on him.
We've been saying that for a few years.
I know.
All right. Anyway.
Don't forget Jonnu.
I was just about to jump in there. I think we see an early explosion from Jonnu. All those people that have been hyping Jonnu up are going to be taking very early victory laps this after week 1, because if there's one area that the Broncos struggle against, it has been against the tight end. For whatever reason, we just haven't had the linebackers to take care of the tight end position. Also struggle against pass-catching running backs. So I think you're going to see a pretty big game from Jonnu Smith in this one. And again, those guys that have been hyping him up, going to have early victory laps.
Bradley Chubb and Von Miller going to shut Derrick Henry down?
They're going to try. They got Jarrell Casey from the Titans for a 7th-round pick.
Revenge game.
I think Jarrell Casey is going to have a bit of a revenge game, and maybe he does slow Derrick Henry down a bit. He is a run-stuffing D-tackle there. That'll be exciting to watch how that battle kind of plays out. On the Broncos side, I'm excited to see what Drew Lock is going to be able to do with Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, and see if that connection that's being established in camp can carry over into the game. I want to see just how often Jerry Jeudy is used in the slot. If my boy Tim Patrick can do anything on the outside.
Timmy P.
I think we're going to see Noah Fant have a pretty decent game here as well. The Titans, I believe, if I remember right, the Titans were middle of the road against tight ends last year. And then the workload between Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay is going to be something worth watching in this one to see if it's truly a 50-50, like it's kind of starting to sound like. If it's a hot hand approach, whoever is getting the yards, if they get the majority of the work, or if they just keep Melvin Gordon in there and hand him the rock. A lot of question marks on Denver right now, and it'll be interesting to see how Drew Lock handles having all the talent around him. And if he can live up to it, I'm going to...
How far, quick question, how far into the season will it take for you to know if Drew Lock's the guy or not?
For me?
For you.
Oh, man. If just being a Broncos fan, if he's not doing something by week 2, I'm just going to be ripping my hair out.
Yeah? Brock Osweiler style?
No, I'll be willing to be patient, especially with this offseason. I think by week 10, if we haven't seen some flashes and stuff, I'll start to get worried, and then, hopefully see if he can pick it up from there. I think you kind of have to give a full season here, especially just with the way everything has gone.
Well, I'm just saying this next draft class, it's got some high
I
profile quarterbacks.
know, that's what I'm saying.
I was going to say,
if he can't prove something down the stretch
with all these weapons,
then if he can't prove something down the stretch, then they may end up just.
So are you saying that if he has a crud season all the way up until like week 14, and then he starts, strings together 3 solid games, 15, 16, 17.
I guess it depends on how he looks during the crud season. I mean, if it's absolutely just Drew Lock throwing picks and things, then okay.
All right.
But I was just curious. Just because of cohesiveness from the team, and it's just like system issues, things like that, then probably got to give a little more leeway.
All right. I just wanted to see from a Broncos fan, how short a leash does Drew Lock
I'll be
have?
tearing my hair out if he's not doing something good in week 2.
Broncos fans going to be chanting, send him down the road.
Yeah. No, I think we got to be willing to give him a little bit longer leash.
The thing is like the last, how many years has it been now that the Broncos have kind of just put in these kind of average cut rate quarterbacks that they hope are going to flourish and bloom into something better, Brock Osweiler, Trevor Siemian, Drew Lock now.
Listen, this is why we're kind of hoping that this is the one.
Man, I hope so.
I mean, I don't know what else to tell you.
I'm just saying.
If you don't find the diamond in the rough of the Tom Brady's, the Peyton Mannings, or even the Carson Wentz's of the world, I mean, what else are you expected to do?
That's true. Well,
John Elway has made some pretty bad picks, but at least Drew Lock wasn't a first rounder.
Yeah, because old Captain Morgan was.
That was a great draft. I mean, that was when Drew Lock got picked. That was a phenomenal draft.
I'm talking about.
No, I know Paxton Lynch, old Captain Morgan, the pirate man himself. That was pathetic.
That was a bad pick.
Terrible pick.
Oh,
man. No, there's no forgiveness on any of that.
Ugh.
For sure.
If Drew Lock doesn't pan out, does John Elway lose his powers of drafting?
I don't think
Do they
so.
move on from him?
I don't
Do they say,
so.
listen, John, we'll take your advice, but you're not picking the players anymore?
I don't think so.
Or maybe they do it with just the quarterbacks. John, you can't pick the quarterbacks anymore.
Maybe that. Maybe. I don't think he loses his powers, though, because he's had pretty darn solid drafts. And, I mean, Drew Lock is yet to be decided, but we'll see.
Also, how does that conversation go? Hey, Hall of Fame quarterback that's the GM of the team. Don't even try to pick quarterbacks for our future.
I think it starts out with, all right, John, let's talk about your past few quarterbacks here. After the Hall of Famer Peyton Manning that we got for a couple years, we got Brock Osweiler. Yeah, that didn't work out, did it? Okay, we got Paxton Lynch.
All right, we don't need to run down the whole track record here. I think by now John Elway understands I've made some stupid picks at quarterback. Anyway.
All right, sorry guys, tangent.
Definitely, yeah. Oh, jeez.
We've been tangenting. Oh,
Good grief. Just because it's a mega episode.
Yeah.
Broncos. Picking my Broncos to win this one.
I did expect nothing less.
Fantasy MVP. Cortland Sutton.
Ooh, I like it. All right.
I almost pivoted and went another direction with that, but
you were going to go Titans, Derrick Henry, weren't you?
I thought about it,
okay.
but not. I was actually thinking Jonnu Smith.
Ooh, that would have been spicy.
I was thinking Jonnu Smith, but I'm going to say Cortland Sutton, fantasy MVP of this matchup. Monday night, Titans versus Broncos. NFL Week 1 coming up. We are hyped. I'm so excited for football to be back, you guys.
Stoked.
Especially after just all the crap this year. We need something good in 2020. All right, we're getting towards the end of our Mega-Sode. Celebrating NFL Week 1. We've got one more segment here. Brought to you from ThriveFantasy. Our friends at ThriveFantasy giving out guaranteed $50,000 in prizes in NFL Week 1 contests. You guys, we are going to hot, prop, and lock it.
Ooh.
All right? Gonna hot prop and lock it. I've got some picks here coming straight out of ThriveFantasy contests, and we are all gonna decide the over/under. We're gonna do this throughout the season. We'll do it on both the Fantasy Chairmen Podcast and on the Sasquatch Square-Off, and we're all gonna pick over/unders on these, and we're gonna total up throughout the season. Every week, we're gonna add our totals up, and we'll update you guys on who's winning and who's losing. And at the end of the season, whoever wins the hot prop and lock it gets to pie the other two in the face. And we'll do that live on Fantasy Chairman YouTube for you. So get over there and subscribe. Fantasy Chairman on YouTube.
Face.
So whoever wins the
I
hot
can't
prop
wait
and
to
lock
pie
it,
you two in the face.
Man, your face is going to be so full of pie.
I didn't sign anything.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, you
didn't know it.
You already signed.
We got a dirt paw print with your signature.
That's exactly it. Yep. Yeah, everybody heard you agree.
Yeah.
When you were in the cave, we had the origin of the
it was
Squatch.
something like this.
That's exactly what it sounded like.
Is demeaning.
No, you're evolved now. It's fine.
You're sophisticated.
All right. Are you guys ready for some props?
Let's hear it.
You ready to hear this? All right. Okay, first one we're doing here, and I'll go to Alex first, and then to the Sasquatch, and I'll give mine.
Wait, what? You get to hear what all of us do?
Yeah, we'll rotate.
Okay, all right. We're going to rotate. Okay, all right.
Listen, I put all the work into setting all this up, all right? I get to go last. All right.
It's cheapness, people. Cheapness.
These props are all based from the Thursday night game, the NFL kickoff game here, okay? So this is coming from Thrive Fantasy's NFL Thursday kickoff contest. We're going to choose 5 different props here. First one, Deshaun Watson, 240.5 total passing yards, over or under? 240.5 passing yards. What do you say, Alex?
Man. I think they're going to have to be slinging it to get caught up. But
240.
my bold prediction, Will Fuller just stay healthy. I am going to go over.
Over for Alex on 240.5 passing yards from Deshaun Watson. Sasquatch, what do you say?
Wait, 245
over.
or 235?
240.5.
240.5. All right, still over.
You said over, Squatch?
Over, yep.
All right, going with the over. You guys, I'm also going to go with the over on that one.
Oof. All right, it's a push.
Everybody's push on that one, on the over. Next, we have...
Okay, we go inverse this time. You pick.
Okay, no, that's fair. I like that. We'll do that.
Snake style.
And then we'll have Matt go first on the next one.
Okay. I was going to just say keep Matt in the middle.
Nope. Nope.
Cool.
All right. Patrick Mahomes. 310.5 total passing yards. 310.5 total passing yards. I'm saying under. All right, let's go. Let's go, Alex, next.
Oh, man. 305?
310.5.
0.5. I keep catching the
It's always the 0.5.
The 0.5. Throw me off. Man. I'm going to go...
Alex really has trouble with these.
I'm going to go under.
Under. All right, Sasquatch.
Over, baby. Let's go, Patty.
Oh, okay. First contrarian pick right there. I like it. All right, Sasquatch, you're up first on this next one. We're going with the rookie phenom, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, CEH himself. Okay, 95.5 total yards rushing and receiving. 95.5 rushing and receiving yards.
Over.
Going over. Ooh, yep. Okay. All right, I will go next, and I am going to go under with that one. Alex, what do you think?
Over.
Ooh.
Give me it. Over.
Right. I'll be the contrarian on this one. Okay, we're back to Alex going first here. Looking on the Texans side of the ball again, we have newly acquired receiver Brandon Cooks, 3.5 total receptions.
Over.
All right. Over. Sasquatch. 3.5.
This is just weird to me. So they did 0.5 so it can be 3 or 5, right?
So it can be
No,
3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Or that's what I meant. Yeah, 3 or 4. Okay.
Forget about 4.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just trying to understand the dynamics of this offense, and it's just like so variable that I would never take this bet ever. I'm gonna go over.
You're taking it right now. So.
You're taking it, whether you like it
I
or
have
not.
to. I'm going over on that.
I'm also gonna say over on 3.5 total receptions from Brandon Cooks. All right. Last one, you guys. Last prop right here. And I'm going first. David Johnson, 0.5 total rushing touchdowns. 0.5 total rushing touchdowns.
Oh, man.
And as much, oh man,
Rushing.
like I said, I've got a lot of stock in David Johnson this year. As much as I want to say over, I'm going to say under. I don't think David Johnson gets a rushing touchdown in this game.
Ooh.
But I think he gets a receiving touchdown in this game. All right. Alex is next. Oh, man. Over under 0.5 total rushing touchdowns for David Johnson.
I think old Bob is going to show everybody that he knew what he was doing, and he's going to force that rock to him. I'm going over.
Ooh,
he's getting one.
Okay, let's see.
Bob.
Let's see. All right, Sasquatch.
You're by yourself. Under.
Oh,
Hey!
my contrarian pick.
Okay, so all three of us have a contrarian pick, so this could get interesting early in the
Really
standings.
fast.
Going into week 2, I like it a lot. Deshaun Watson.
That was the grossest one to take a contrarian pick on.
Hey, I like
That's
it.
gross.
I like it. All right, so Deshaun Watson, 240.5 total pass yards. We all three of us said over. Patrick Mahomes, 310.5 total passing yards. Me and Alex went with under, and Sasquatch went with over. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 95.5 total rushing and receiving yards. I said under, while Alex and Matt said over. Brandon Cooks, 3.5 total receptions. All three of us said over. And David Johnson, 0.5 total rushing touchdowns. Me and Matt said under, while Alex said over. We will keep track of that this week and update the standings next week, and we'll have some more props that we'll choose next week. And a big thank you to our friends at ThriveFantasy for the Hot Prop and Lock It segment on the Fantasy Chairmen Podcast. Remember to sign up at Thrive Fantasy and use the promo code Fantasy Chairmen to get a $20 instant bonus when you deposit $20 or more. Hashtag prop up with Thrive Fantasy. Download them on the App Store or the Google Play Store and win some money.
Free money.
Week 1, $50,000 guaranteed in prizes. I love it. That does it, you guys, for our Mega-Sode.
The Mega-Sode,
We
baby.
did it. NFL Week 1 coming up. I'm hyped for Thursday. Oh.
Get in the end zone, David Johnson.
Receiving-wise.
No running.
That's what I want to see. All right. Thank you all for listening. That will do it for the Fantasy Chairman this week. We'll be back in week 2 with both the Fantasy Chairman Podcast and the Sasquatch Square-Off as separate episodes. Sasquatch, thank you for joining us from your cave. It's been fun.
Gotcha.
It's been fun.
Hope you get Red Zone out in that cave for this weekend.
Don't forget to send your flex questions to us at Chairman Fantasy, at FindFF Leagues, at Fantasy Squatch on Twitter, and at Fantasy Chairman Pod on Instagram. We will comb through those, and yours could be picked and put on the show for us to debate. Ooh. Alex and I will be bringing you the previews and recaps from all of the NFL games and giving you our number one waiver wire pickups and things like that. And maybe some other fun stuff that we'll just throw in there from time to time.
Have I mentioned that, like, waiver wire season? That's, like, one of my most favorite things.
Oh, it's a blast.
I love waiver wire
Making the
season.
pickups.
Oh, yeah. Trying to figure out how much to spend.
Using the Fab budget.
Oh, man, I love it. If you're not on Fab, people, get on Fab.
Just get on Fab. You need to. It's the best. All right. That'll do it for us. Thank you for joining us. It's been a fun one. Visit us on www.fantasychairmen.com. And don't forget to enter the raffle by clicking on our Pay It Forward tab. Support the Roundup City Racers, other youth sports organizations.
Listen, rate, and review us on all your podcast formats.
Peace out, y'all.
Later.